in the studio because I am having a class reunion. If you know how these two people disturbed me in high school, today it's my turn to grill them in this platform. So I want you guys to stay tuned because what we're discussing today, it's really, really very important. And I hope that you will get to learn something from it. One of them is a social activist, the other is a nurse or doctor. Let me keep quiet. Let me not say anything. Let me not spoil the gist too. Anyways, I'm really happy that you are back in the studio again. Thank you to all the listeners and those who are following on Facebook as well. I'm going to allow my guests to introduce themselves in a moment, but I'm sure some of you are very familiar with these faces. Here in the Gambia, and those of us, those who were my classmates back in high school, you will also know them, the troublemakers. Or at least one of them was very quiet. The other was a notorious troublemaker. But I'm really happy that I got to have them in the studio. Today it's very much important, like I said, but before I have the guests introduce themselves, I just want to remind us, last week we talked about men's mental health, and I believe that most of us, just underrate or overlook the importance of men's mental health. With everything else that they're going through, with whatever they are feeling, we just assume that they are strong and that they were meant to solve problems. They were meant to not cry. They were meant to just bottle everything up and just move as if nothing happens. And then when they die, we say, oh, they're sad, and that's about it. Or when they go to mental health tanka, we will be like, oh, the symptoms were there. Everything was showing. Their short-temperedness, their aggressive nature, their quietness, they're sleeping a lot, they're distancing themselves. All of these were signs that we were seeing, but we were like, and stuff like that. So let's help our men. Let's support them. Let's give them the love that they deserve so that they can live longer lives and babysit their grandchildren. We don't want our men to be dying like chickens, we don't want that. We want our men to live long so that they can also enjoy the life that God has given them. So I'm going to that's a short recap. I'm going to tune them into this topic to tell us why they feel like men should be considered more, especially when it comes to mental health. And knowing who they were in high school and growing up, and now that they are, responsible young men, I believe they have a lot to say. But I'll just allow them to introduce themselves, and then we can go right into the conversation. I'll start with my left, my ex-boyfriend. Hello.
Hi, Jane. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
It's a pleasure being here with you. The audience out there, I'm greeting all of you. I am Jeffrey Mendy, and thank you for that super promotion. You said I am what? An activist.
Jeff is everywhere, so he's a social activist. That's what I would call him.
Okay, then thank you so much for that compliment.
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I am Patrick Mendy. Yeah, thank you, Jen, for welcoming us to the studio.
So this is basically like Mendy versus Gomez. I have two Mendys, one on my left, one on my right. And now I am the only Gomez in the middle, but I have the loudest voice. So, but anyways, thank you guys for being in the studio, Patrick and Jeffrey. Like I did a recap about my last show's topic, which is about men's mental health. I just want you guys to tell me, growing up until now, how has the culture, programmed men to an extent that people feel like their mental health is not important?
Well, I would say a man is whom he is because of his mental health. Mm-hmm. A man's state of mind, it's so important that if there is any form of irregularity, mm-hmm. it can mess up his entire life.
That's very strong.
And yes, and when it comes to resistance towards a state of mind of if you have to compare it to a man and a woman, it's often easier for a woman to resist compared to a man. So looking at our society as we are growing up, I would believe the man out there is often not given that much attention as of the woman when it comes to that state of mind. In many cases, if a man is isolated, trying to be trying to be himself, you don't have those people that will often come closer to you to cheer you up compared to a woman. And I'm telling you, these are things that we need. And it really takes us a long way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But what's your opinion?
Okay, I'll go with the famous saying, men don't cry. That's what they will say. Yeah,
that's
like
true.
when you were boys, they will say, when you fight, go to joy. Then you means you don't have to cry. Even if you want to cry, you have to have your tears. You have to act strong. Wow. Good. So you grow up that way, trying to be strong. You have issues, you have challenges. It's easy for a man to look at a woman and say, you're not feeling alright. What's the problem? What's going on? But now how about the man? The family man who goes out from dawn to dusk, hustling to make sure he feeds his family. He comes home tired, sleepy, fatigued, and then who says, how was your day?
Yeah.
You understand? So it's difficult. Nobody cares except you tell them I have pain. But nobody asks. Somebody will say, go la. Understand? So because the man will always say, I'm fine, it's okay, don't worry.
But don't you also guys think that it's about time that you guys come out and say, you know what, I'm not okay. Like just own it up and be like, I'm not okay. I'm going through this. I'm breaking. I'm having mental breakdown. Just leave me alone or help me. Why can't men ask for help like women? I know you are not wired that way. You're wired to just keep things in, to just bottle everything up. But didn't you see how that is affecting your mental health, your physical health, your family, and basically your social being? So why can't men ask for help?
Basically, it's not easy. Like, men have responsibilities. So if I come and say, okay, Jane, I'm broke. Can you provide fish money? Most women help their husbands, they support them.
Yeah.
But in the case, the man is stronger than the woman. And something else happened. He had to do some expenses, and at his stage, he cannot afford to give all those things he used to provide. And then they will be like, okay, you have started producing what you used to give me. So now how about you tell the lady, can you provide? I cannot afford. How does she feel? He feels you are trying to run away from responsibilities. They start to think otherwise. Because people have different mentality, especially when it comes to managing responsibilities and then handing it back to somebody or just lending it to the person for a while. It's always difficult. So men would rather prefer to do what they do and put food on the table rather than to go to a person and tell them, okay, I cannot do this, I cannot afford this, can you do this? Except if probably you are much stronger, that wouldn't be a big deal. Probably you understand, okay, maybe this time you are broke and stuff. But on the normal circumstance, men don't go back.
Yeah, we don't easily open up. We don't easily open up, and it's good that you said it. I think it's very important. It's very important. So long as that good state of mind is concerned, we shouldn't be always carried away by what society gives.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to believe we have our trustees. Okay, and honestly, looking at our daily life activities as a man, if only you want to keep things by yourself, I bet you won't survive. You won't survive to eat the rib of your neighbor.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Well, that was really insightful, and this is what we're looking at. We're looking at men who are willing to come out and just be like, you know what, I'm not okay, I'm not doing fine, and I need help. And that is going to go a long way in making sure that our men have the healthiest of lives, the happiest of lives, and actually enjoy that life that they're living. So it's important, if you can ask for help, please do. Do not let your pride and ego cause you to dig your own early grave, because it's so sad that children are growing up without their fathers. You know, they don't have that father figure, and a lot of issues are boiling up within the society. But anyways, thank you for that recap, for helping me see the men's perspective on that side. So, but that's not our topic for today. Today we're talking about maternal health, and also we're going to be talking about the youth cross. But we're going to start with the youth cross. This is why Jeff is in the studio with us today. We know that the Diocesan Youth Coordinating Committee are organizing a youth cross this year. This is an event that happens every 2 years, and it brings together all the youths in the diocese in one parish to just go and, you know, seek God together, have fun as well, get to know one another, because the parish, Gambian diocese is small, is not small. And it's not everybody you know, because there are certain youths within the corners that you don't know them. So this is the opportunity that youths get to gather, get to know each other, have fun, also learn about the catechism of the Catholic Church, get to know what their responsibilities are towards the church and what the church's responsibility towards the youths are. And so therefore, this youth cross is coming up, and Jeff is part of the CDYC, which he's a vice president. So see why I'm telling you, all my boys have grown and they're taking responsibility. So Jeff is the youth, the vice president of the Catholic Diocese Youth Coordinating Committee, and I'm really happy and proud of him. So Jeffrey, tell us, this year's 2025 Youth Cross, when is it and where is it happening?
Thank you, Jane. Youth cross. Youth cross. Mm-hmm. This year's Youth Cross will be hosted by the Emmaus Deanery, more specifically Basse, St. Joseph's Parish, Basse. It is slated from the 3rd to the 6th of July.
All right, so it's happening in Basse, the hottest region in the Gambia.
Yes, the United Kingdom of Basse.
Yeah. Yes, it's the United Kingdom of Basse, the hottest, and you know, also like it's a very beautiful period at Basse, though just the heat, but aside that, it's a very beautiful place. And I think this is the first time the youths are hosting this kind of a huge activity or event in Emmaus Deanery, and it is promised to bring together all the youths from the parishes. So in terms of registration, has it closed or is the registration still going? And how much is the fee for the youth cross?
The registrations are still they are ongoing. They are ongoing. Initially, we had a deadline for it, but we have been considerable. We had to extend the date. So registrations are still on. You can see your various reps, pay to them, or you can visit Cisco alongside GT Bank and do your payments.
How much?
$2,000 is the registration, yes.
Okay. Patrick,
Yes.
you are also part of the executive St. Peter's Youth Group. How prepared are you for this year's Youth Cross? Will you be going?
I'm in the first seat.
He's in the first seat. So which means you've registered and you've paid.
Yeah.
Yes. So how prepared are the youths of St. Peter's?
Well, people are still registering. I did mine already. So I'm sure Reverend has already encouraged us. St. Peter's alone should fill a bus.
Yeah.
So that's the target.
Yeah. Father Mike said 2 buses for St. Peter's.
The Rock.
And all of us are from St. Peter's here. So yes, definitely we are getting prepared for the youth cross. So yes. So what are some of the expectations that the youth should have, you know, for this camp? What are we expecting? What is CDYC, you know, have for us in an envelope per se?
It's the youth cross. So our focus is the cross, which is the source of our salvation, of course, yes. This year it is going to be celebrated in a grand style.
Wow.
In a super grand style.
Okay.
We've started discussions on the youth cross way back from last year. And every day we try to make sure we adjust ourselves in one way or the other. We have a huge package for the youths. So the youths will be expecting a lot of activities. Yes. Upon our arrival, that is on Friday, we will not, on Thursday, we will not do much because it's going to be a long travel.
Yeah.
But it's far.
Very, very far.
Definitely. So we will just have an entrance with the cross. And the entrance will be cross. We will be welcomed by the youths of the entire Emmaus Deanery. It will be championed with a musical gospel carnival. Then after which, if we get there, we will see how best we would honor the cross. Then we have a bath, and then it's going to be closed for the night. Yes. We would have a Bible chapter. It's going to be a night whereby we would have games that entails, games that will be derived from the Bible. It is going to be entertaining. We will also have a career developing training stuff.
Okay.
Yes, whereby we will have individuals that will come and deliberate or give talks on career development stuff. We will also have a job trade fair.
Wow.
Yes. We are encouraging our youths out there to come and register because we are giving you the platform to advertise your business.
So it's basically like entrepreneurial.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So the job trade fair, it's going to be awesome. I'm telling you.
And this is the first time?
The first time it is happening.
Interesting.
Yes. We will also have a movie night.
Oh.
Yes, we will have a movie night. We will also have a youth seminar. Then we will also be expecting to have a huge and beautiful carnival. Cultural carnival, to be more specific. Cultural carnival.
Wow.
So we would want youths to come with their cultural attires. Mine is already prepared, set.
Wait, what's the point about dressing up like the old Bible characters? That's also different from the cultural festival.
Well, I want to believe it's going to be beautiful if we see people dressed in that manner. If I see you dressed like Mother Mary.
Okay.
And Patrick, they are dressed like St. Peter himself.
Yes.
And you dress like Matthew, the tax collector.
Exactly. But my Majago cultural attire is already set for the carnival.
Okay.
For the cultural carnival. So we will also have a cultural heritage night. We have this beautiful song for the youth cross.
Yes, I love it. It's already trending on TikTok.
Sure. And we will also have most of our gospel artists that night.
Wow.
On the ground. And we are also expecting gospel artists from Senegal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sure. I mean, I'm already excited, Patrick. If you are not, I am. So we're going to pause with that one for now, and then towards the end of the show, you're going to tell us what the youths are expected to come or to bring and the rules and regulations. But you haven't said exactly where we're going to be staying. We just said Basse, and Basse is very huge. where exactly are we staying in Basse? So some of us can start preparing our bed sheets, our mattresses, whatever we have to prepare. So we're going to tell us that so that would coincide with what is expected for the youths to bring along. So we go to my brother Patrick. So today this one, it was a side, kind of like a side piece, you know. So this is the main juice for the program this night,
sure.
which is we're going to talk about maternal health. And I just want Patrick to walk us through who is Patrick Mendy, and who was that gentle little boy, and how does that boy influence the kind of man that Patrick is today? You know, so yeah, just walk us through. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jane. Like I said earlier, I am Patrick Mendy. I'm commonly called Stone. Yeah, if you know me school time, everybody knows the word Stone.
So hair.
Yeah. So basically, health was not something I've think of or that ever thought of. During our school days, I was good in building drawing.
Yes.
The technical part.
The expert.
Yeah, I love that side. The woodwork, you know. But you know, like teens growing in a certain stage, you want to do something, you don't have support. When you come from poor backgrounds, some will tell you don't have finance to pay for you.
Yeah.
So you have to go by the option you have. So fortunately, I consulted one of my uncles. So he said, no, if you do architect, you don't have a job. I know a lot of people who did it and they don't have a job. So you're going to do nursing.
Wow.
So I was discouraged. I said, okay, then how can I have that? And then he said, you inquire about schools like the RN school at Banjul. So I was there, I think, a few days. My cousin brother also called. We spoke on the phone. He said, okay, you are going to do Satan school. I was like, did you call my uncle or did you discuss with him? He said, no. And then they were both saying the same thing.
Just confirmation.
Yeah, so I said, okay, no problem. So he bought the form, filled everything. I just signed. He returned the form. So I just went for the interview. So I was successful. So that's how I find myself in Mansa Congo. Imagine in the heat of LRR. Yeah. So I was like, somebody new in a foreign land, a youth man, no parents, no guidance, you have to hustle on your own. So that's how my journey started. That was in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to share a room with one man. And then every day you walk to school with the heat, and then clothes, your shoes will get torn on the way. You have to manage with lack of finances because we were sponsored by NAS. So we used to have stipend every month, $1,000. So imagine you use $1,000 for breakfast, lunch, and some dinner, and then you have to pay some school dues and stuff. So it was not an easy journey, but thank God I made it through. And then after starting the job, I loved what is in it. You understand? So I served in Nutbank, Farafenni. I was there for 4 years. I served in the PHC, I served in the facilities. I was almost one of the champions of some of the activities that were happening back then. If anybody knows RBF, or if you ask Jibril, he knows when I mean champions when it comes to RBF.
Wow.
Yeah, I have one of my mentors. I always remember him, Amulai. Yeah, when I came, they were like, this small boy. Yeah, but the small boy was greater than the size. Yeah.
The size doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the substance.
Yeah, so after that, then, after the 4 years, by 2020, I decided to upgrade myself because with the way system is, the more you upgrade, the better your chances. So
well, we're going to come to that.
Okay.
You've answered basically. I wanted to know how that little boy influenced you to be the man that. Why are you laughing? I'm asking. Even you have to answer that question because the way you were and now it's like contrast. So how did that boy introduce this man that is sitting here?
Okay, it was not easy, but it was just a matter of time. You have to trust yourself and what you are doing. Growth will come, but it will come also at a specific time when your mind is set.
Yeah.
When you set your mind, you know what you want, your mind is steady, and then you have to overcome the challenges that come your way.
Yeah.
That's what, when I was growing, I was a donkey driver.
Amazing.
An international donkey driver within the Congress. Yeah, if you know me when I was growing,
Yeah.
I drive donkey. My father has a donkey cart. I pick firewood, materials, luggages, and stuff. I used to pay my study fees, buy some clothes. So since then, my father prepared me for adulthood.
Yeah.
Then I didn't see it. I was seeing like, okay, I was the last born, the youngest, so all the job, I have to do it and stuff. But it was later I realized that all that was just preparing me for manhood. It was not just like you being the youngest and you doing the job, but it was preparing for something greater.
Imagine.
Because I built resilience, I had to develop a mindset that has to do, okay, things that don't matter, you don't think of them. Things that are of negative perspective, you put them aside. You only think of how to put the change. So that was what motivated me, and that was my mindset growing. I also met other friends and colleagues who also have a positive thinking. So that's how I grew to be who I am, though I'm that type of a silent type.
See, this is what I was looking for. See, this is what I was, because, you know, our men are built in such a way from a very young age. They are positioned in a particular place, and some of them grow negative and they grow, angry and aggressive and all of that because of they don't understand the process growing up, you know. And I believe that Jeff has either a similar or different story of how he became the kind of man that he is. That Jeff is the diocesan Jeff. Everybody in the Diocese of Banjul, across the street, across everywhere, you hear Jeff's name. Jeffs will travel everywhere, you know, because, you know, there's a story behind that. You want to tell me yours? Just small.
Well, it all started in St. Peter's. You know, from the parish.
When you used to call me your girlfriend.
From the parish to school, you know, back to the parish again after graduation, you know, manning up, taking up responsibilities in the parish. Then it landed me to diocesan, at the diocesan level.
Imagine.
Yeah, definitely. It's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. You know, growing up, you have personal responsibilities.
Yeah.
You also have that of the family. So there are some sacrifices that you need to take.
Yeah.
Because this is the work of God. And some family members will not understand.
Yeah.
So along the line, they would understand at a certain point, they will not begin to understand again. They will begin to see that you are prioritizing church than family. But all thanks to my mother, most especially, who always stands by me, and definitely she helped me a lot and she pushed me. Yeah, but thanks be to God.
Amen. Hallelujah to that. Thank you, Patrick. So you never had, because you studied technical. You are in the technical field. Arts field, but you love technical drawing and all of that, and it was right after high school that, you know, the choice was made for you to be a nurse.
Sure.
But then you got into the project, you got into the field itself, and you saw how much you're in love with it. So as a young man, you know, navigating through a field that is mostly occupied by women, it's women dominated, you know, they will say male dominated, but this one is women dominated.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges you face as a young man navigating, not studying medicine in the first place, but not studying science in the first place, at least that will give you foundation, but you studied art and then you deviate. How was that journey like for you? What are some of the challenges you faced?
Okay, like from St. Peter's, if you can remember, we started doing biology for the art students.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then the technical, we used to take an art subject. That was the interchange that was happening.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate to do biology, which I had credit. That was what gave me an edge, and I had 7 credits.
Wow.
And a pass in maths. So that was an edge for me over other candidates. You understand? So going through nursing is a field for everybody. Yeah, probably if we say like midwifery is a female-dominated field.
Okay.
But nursing is for everybody.
Yeah,
Nursing is for everybody. Yeah, basically my first challenge was my size.
Small boy.
Yes, naturally the Gambian believes in size, like everybody. Dagandao is too small, so they don't think of what you got, what you can offer, what you can do. First thing is like, at first sight, it's like this small boy. Yes, and that was the first challenge, because everywhere you go, especially when you practice, like you said, like when it comes to labor or delivery or attending women, that always comes to their mind, like this small boy. So sometimes they feel reluctant to tell you what's actually happening to them. You have to use your intelligence to get them out of what's actually with them, than them telling you directly. It's only a few that would come to you plainly and tell you this is this. But most of them will prefer to go around. But you also go around with them when you meet. Yeah.
You learn to be crafty.
Yes, so that's how it goes. And then the other thing was probably financial challenges was one of the things, but all those things, it's just a matter of time. I also had good Samaritans that always come my way, and I had good friends that I also supporting. So, yeah, so I was able to overcome some of those things with time.
That's nice. That's awesome. So we're going to push this question towards the last end, but tell us, what is maternal health? Because this is something that is a topic also that it's rarely talked about, and though it has to do with women, but women don't see it as important. So what is maternal health, and how is it so misunderstood that some women will not care about their maternal health to a point that sometimes claims their lives?
Okay, thank you. I would like to clarify my designation. I was a community health nurse. Yes, and then I did the training again to become a midwife.
So
basically,
health nurse, then midwife. So now you are a nurse midwife.
Yes, I'm a nurse midwife.
Okay.
So now that will bring us to the topic, which qualifies me to talk about maternal health. Yeah, maternal health is basically the health of the woman from once conception is confirmed through the process to delivery and then post-delivery. That's maternal health. So basically, most women is a different perspective. Like if you have a child out of wedlock, most of those people feel reluctant to come for antenatal services. So they neglect their health. That's one aspect of it. The second part is like people are influenced by others. Like, okay, you are pregnant. When I was going for clinic, I was like 6 months, 7 months. So this one also be like, okay, it's fine. I don't have to go a lot of times to the clinic to see the nurse, or people calling me, they come back. So they prefer to wait for 6 months, 7 months, some even at 9 months at a time. That's when they come to the facility. That's when you know they are pregnant. And it's not that they have not been hearing. If you are in the provinces, we have what we call community sensitization, where we talk about health, maternal health, the danger signs of pregnancy, the risk of health and stuff. We take care of children. But still, it was just the mindset of the people and the greater majority what they do. At the first, it was focused on antenatal care, where you have to do like 4 antenatal visits when you are pregnant. So you can have an interval of 2 months, 3 months before you visit a nurse to have a clinic. You understand? So then people also will prefer to wait like in the second trimester, when they will have to go for only twice, and then they will have to go again, they go and deliver. So probably that trend also contributed to people delay.
Okay.
Yeah. Others, maybe they have not been exposed to health education sessions, where they have to be told, okay, you have to book early. Yeah, so that will cause their delay of not coming early. So they only come to clinic to look for medication, and then you notice they are pregnant, and you ask them why, they tell you nothing. Some, their husbands are not supporting because they are not strong. So they need their husbands to support them with some finance. You need to do scanning, you need to do lab tests, you need to get to the clinic, you need to eat. So some men cannot afford all those basic needs for their wives. So some will rather wait. It's only when they are sick you see them. When they are not sick, you don't see them. Yeah. So these are some of the challenges that will basically take place. But some naturally is ignorance. It's preference.
They prefer not to
come. They prefer not to come.
Wow, Jeff, I hope that when you get married, that you even go to antenatal with your wife.
Yes, when we get married, I will take you to you go to
Scratch that one up. Yeah, that is really interesting. So maternal health is really vast.
Yeah.
Is from conception to postnatal.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of there's a lot in between.
In between, sure.
But also there's a lot. People talk a lot more about maternal mortality, like when the mother died or the child died during birth and all of that. That's what a lot of people talk about. But I wanted you to help us with the difference. We're going to do a recap in Wolof so that our Wolof listeners can also basically just know what we're talking about.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so can you tell us the difference between maternal health and maternal mortality?
Okay, like when you say health, you are referring to a healthy person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and when you say health, everybody thinks of, okay, the positive. Everybody wants to be healthy.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the health now, is the aspect where the mother has to be fit to carry the pregnancy. You also have to make sure the baby is carried, is also monitored, and has a normal growth up to term. Because along the line, you can have complications that will arise due to the mother or some other things that will come across for the mother. So that's why you talk about the maternal health. So when you talk about maternal mortality, mortality means death. You're talking about the death of the woman or the unborn child, or the woman and the unborn child. Because you can hear like the woman passed away in labor or shortly after delivery. These are the things that will happen.
Yeah.
So most of the time, people only focus when something bad happens.
Yeah.
So when you're doing good, nobody pays attention. But when something happens, it's painful. We all feel the pain like a mother dying. Nobody wants somebody to die in your hands.
Yeah.
Every carer wants to make sure the life you take care of is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but things happen and it starts a long way. You don't just die suddenly.
Yeah.
It has to start somewhere. So those are some of the things that brings about maternal mortality. So mortality is basically maternal death. And then maternal health is the health of the woman and the unborn child.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We have a few more questions to go. I'm not sure what time we have left. Okay, we still have quite a bit of time.
Okay.
So what are some of the issues faced by that are common to pregnant women, maternal health issues that are common to women, and what are some of these factors that influence those issues?
Yeah, okay. If you follow me on TikTok, there was a time I started doing health education for pregnant women, or basically for everybody.
Yeah.
Because it came to a time like I feel, okay, people are doing music, preaching, some are just having fun, and I'm following those things. How about me coming out and then sharing my thoughts?
Yeah.
Because we have issues that are going on, but some people are not aware.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the chance to get to know it. So basically, some of the challenges that come across pregnant women are like bleeding. And one will just sit, pregnant woman, and then you start bleeding. It's not normal for you to bleed when you are pregnant. You only bleed when you are mensing. But when you are pregnant, bleeding is out of it totally. Once you bleed, it's going to lead to other complications. So that's why you hear a woman say, like, I aborted, or I delivered before term, because bleeding can lead you to early delivery. You understand? So some will abort because they are pregnant for 2 months, 3 months, they are not aware. Or they are not paying attention to their body changes.
Yeah.
So they just sit at the time, they still continue doing the same activities. If you are doing strenuous jobs, they will predispose you to bleeding in early pregnancy. And then you end up losing your pregnancy, to abortion. You understand? So you also have like, other disease conditions. Like you can be pregnant up to a certain stage and then you start to develop hypertension.
Wow.
We call it pregnancy-induced hypertension. Now it is called gestational hypertension. So when you come across some of these things, they lead you to what we call preeclampsia and then eclampsia, which may lead to either you deliver before time or you deliver and then you may be lucky to have both you and the baby. Or the baby might unfortunately have to pass. You also have what we call like gestational diabetes. We all know diabetes is common.
Yeah.
So you have people with diabetes and you are pregnant. So you need to report to the clinic early. You need to have the services and the care you need so that you can carry your pregnancy to term. Otherwise, if you neglect it, that diabetes is going to affect you and the health of your baby. You understand? So these are some of the things that are happening. So that's why it is important. Once you confirm you are pregnant, you report to the nearest clinic. See the nurse, the midwife, the doctor, whosoever. You need care. So you need to report for ANC services. That's antenatal care services. That is when you start to care for the nurse has to take care of you and the baby, so that you are able to, any complication that comes your way, they are able to intervene. But if you don't, you have issues along the way. And then you have like UTIs or STIs.
Wow.
Yeah, people are living with those conditions. And sometimes people can neglect their health.
What about patients who are pregnant and they have HIV?
Yes, those people are taken care of. We call them people living with HIV and AIDS. So we have what we call the ART program. So if you join the ART program, you take your medications regularly, then that will help to suppress the virus. And then you are able to carry a pregnancy. You may not even, there's a likelihood that you may not even infect the unborn child. But if you don't take care of that virus, you may end up infecting the unborn child who has to be born with HIV in the society. So imagine.
That's trauma on its own.
Sure. So imagine you are told you have HIV and then you presume you are innocent.
Yeah.
How does it feel? So it's going to be challenging. So these are some of the issues that will come across people.
Factors? What are the factors?
Yeah, the factors basically people neglect. We encourage people to visit clinics. So some of the factors will be to lack of awareness. Because some, they have the condition, but they don't take it like it can be that serious when I'm pregnant. But when you don't take it serious, it ends up hunting you back. There are some of the factors that happen. Yeah. Some, they start treatment, along the way they stop the treatment. So if you start treatment halfway, you stop. It's just a matter of time. Whatever problem that was there, whether the virus or the bacteria, will still come back.
And reinforce
itself. So you have untreated STIs, people living with STIs. You want to manage the partner, that's the husband. And then it's difficult. So you only manage the wife at a particular time, it will still come back again.
Wow.
So you have recurrent STIs.
Husbands, listen to your wives.
Yeah, so recurrently, if you still keep on having those issues, on the long run, it becomes difficult to treat it. Yeah. Because like cleaning the house and still bringing the rubbish and then throw it back. So these are some of the factors that contribute to women having some of the complications along the way.
And I would say the major one is poverty.
Yeah, well,
the major one is poverty.
So poverty is a crime.
It's a very big crime. It's a sin, in fact, to be poor that much. But anyways, I think this is very much clear. We're just going to do a recap in Wolof, a little bit. Tey luñ doon waxtaane suma mbokk yi déglukat yi mooy maternal health mooy mbir wér gu yarami jigéen nga xam ne soo xamee ne da nga biir ba ngaa wasin ba toppatoo doom bi daal loolu lañ nekk di waxtaane tey ak tamit yëfi youth cross bi nga xam ne moom mooy ñëw xew si fii Diocese of Banjul moo tax ma am fii Jeff pour mu waxtaan ak ñun affaire youth cross bi ñu am Patrick tamit nga xam ne moo fi toog moom moo nekk nurse bi ak midwife bi xam nañ ne toppatoo wér gu yarami jigéen bu biir dafa métti trop loolu moo tax ñu am ay nit yi nga xam ne dañ jànga si lopitaan bi naka la ñoo mun a toppatooy jigéen bu biir ba ma wasin ak naka la ma mun a toppatooy doom parce que loolu tamit si jànga la bokk xam nañ ne si suñ société bi léegi ñu bëri jàngul te ñu bëri ñoo dee biir léegi duñ dee xam sax kan moo leen biiral oo ñu sëy waaye jëkkër bi faale ko ndir jàngul ak yooyu noonu so naka la moo mun a toppatooy doomam ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk si lopitaan bi nurse yi ak midwives yi ñoo leen di mun a jàngal loolu noonu so loolu la ñoo waxtaanee tey so Patrick rek dama bëgga nga bantuwaat si kàllaama olof rek lépp li nga xam ne from beginning to end daal mooy danga koy def mu gàtta rek waaw nu mu gën a gàttee lan mooy maternal health naka la ñoom jigéen ñi mun a toppatoo seen boppa ak lan moo tax ñu bëri duñ dee gëm ne dem lopitaan soo biiree dafa am njëriñ.
Ok jërëjëf Jane nuyu naa leen suma mbokk yi dama bëgg a bantuwaat tuuti rek si luñ doon waxtaan so luñ doon laajte mooy luy wér gu yarami jigéen comme maanaam soo jëlee biir wala ñu ne soo ëmbee ba balaa nga am doom so wér gu yaram mooy boromam dafa war a wér jigéen bi su biir dañ ko war a toppatoo di bu mu ëmbee ba balaa mu am doom ba mu am doom ba gannaaw loolu ba weer sa ak lu teg loolu yëpp ci toppatoo jigéen bu wér lañ soxla so wér-gu-yaram si jigéen mooy soo ëmbee ak sa doom bi yéen ñaar yëpp da ngeen war a toppatoo parce que soo demee bi ëmba rek toppatoo bi si la war a commencé ba nga am juróom-ñeenti weer ba nga am doom ñu war a fexe ne yow amuloo benn problème xale bi amul benn problème parce que si diggante bi daf day am gàllankoor yu dee ñëw ak jafe-jafe soo toppatoo yooyu noonu si diggante bi daf day mën a tax jigéen bi commencé am problème yenn saa yi ñeneen ni mun nañoo am doom xale bi deelu mun a am seen biir yi rot si diggante bi loolu yëpp daf dee am so beneen bi mooy comme bu fekkee ëmba nga warloo caaxaane sa wér parce que gis nañ ñu bëri ñoo xam ne dañoo ëmba seen biir yi rot ñaari weer ñetti weer ñu ne yéeguñ la nga ëmba so once dem nga sa weer jàllala benn weer ñaari weer war ngaa tira nga dem si lopitaan nga tees nga xam ne da nga ëmba so soo ëmbee depuis boobu nga war a commencé jël kayitu noos nga dem noos nga def scanning nga am toppatoo bi nga war ba balaa ngaa am doom sanga so beneen bi mooy wax nañ affaire yi comme jigéen mu gaañu si mat xam nañ dafa métti benn docteur bëggut jigéen am doom si loxam afta mu gaañu wala xale bi gaañu dafa métti sanga boot am na fu mu dee commencé ñi du jékki-jékki rek dee am na problème yi nga xam ne daf da nekka di la toppa nanka so bu fekkee ne yow ëmba nga nekkoo di dem noos nga toog ba juróom-ñetti weer mbaa juróom-ñaari weer nga ne dangaa dem noos nga dem ñu gis ne yaa ngi am problème balaa ñu saafara problème bi sa mat bi jot sanga xëy na yaa ngi amoon tension yow teel loo xam ne yaa ngi am tension nanguloo dem noos so nga dem noos fekk yaa ngi juróom ñeenti weer so boobu noonu fekk dugg nga si mat balaa ñu toppatoo tension bi commencé nga di crise so balaa ñu laa toppatoo ba rëcca si sa bakkan mun na si ñàkk so loolu yëpp bokk na si jafe-jafe yoo xam ne daf dee waral jigéen mu gaañu si mat am na ñeneen yi dañ dee nekk di gis deret wala xale bi gaañu si biir bi duñ dee gaaw a wax soo noppee si kaw loolu noonu once yaram bi dafa fiir so loo xam ne bokkatut si moom rek wala dundatut rek dafa dee génne soo toogee ñaari fan ñetti fan ñeenti fan dégguloo sa xale bi yëngatu dama si lopitaan bi soo toogee ak loolu ba jamono dafa commencé di isi lu ñu dee wax infection so mun naa commencé di feebar bi di egg di laal sa deret bi ak yooyu noonu so yow temps bi ngaa dem pour ñu jéem a saafaraal loolu noonu dafa fekk tardé na sanga so yooyu bokk na si jafe-jafe yi nga xam ne day waral comme jigéen day ñàkk seen bakkan si mat sanga so beneen bi tam bi ñu waxtaan mooy bu fekkee ne am nga problème dafa am solo torop nga teel a dem si lopitaan dem noos nekkut sonal la dem noos waxtu la am te soo dee dem noos dafa am garab ak test yu la defal pour fexe ne am na benn problème so boobu noonu wax nañ fi feebari sukkur wax nañ fi feebari tension so yooyu yëpp dañ ko dee seet bu fekkee ne yaa ngi am yooyu noonu yaa ngi am sida feebari sida bu ñu dee AIDS yooyu yëpp dafa dañ ko war a seet si yow yoo xam ne amuloo ko soo ko amee tam dafa am yoon ñu ngi ko dee toppatooyee pour fexe ne feebar yooyu soo naluñ sa ëmba bi bon bu fekkee ne yow bàyyiloo xel loolu noonu yaa ngi toog yaa ngi nëbatu ngir danga am jël biir boo xam ne du si sa jëkkër wala keneen moo la ko def si biti jarul nëbatu noos yi ak docteur yi si lopitaan bi nekkuñ fa pour wax sa affaire lu ñu soxla mooy nga ñëw ñu toppatoo la nga am sa biir nga dem loolu leen soxla bon soo nekkee di nëbatu loolu du la arrangé dafa gën a isi ay jafe-jafe rek
jërëjëf Patrick loolu leer na trop sax te nu mu gën a gaatee rek nu mu gën a gaawee noonu lañ koy defee léegi nag dañoo dem rek parce que suñ time bi jeex na ñu ngi am 5 minutes to go so I'm just going to give you your last questions and then you can give us your final words and then we can call it a night. Jeffrey, I'm going to come back to you. What are some of the rules and regulations for this camp and what are the youths expected to come with for the camp?
I would start with what we expect the youths to come with. The fact that we know Baza is hot, especially looking at the season, it's important we know the type of clothes
to bring.
Yes, I want to believe we have been going for camps.
Yeah.
So the usuals, we know them.
Yes.
We
your
know
soup,
them.
your njampe, your toothbrush, cup of tea, spoon.
Exactly.
So in the you will pack us because there's going to be mangoes in basket.
Exactly. Exactly. Good. And part of going by the registration, we already asked your allergist or health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we are going to go by that, but we're still encouraging the youths out there to come along with any form of medicine that is going to support them down there. Yes, and we as CDYC members, we will also do our quota
to bring some pain relievers and all of that.
Exactly. The legs of stone will be there.
The nurses,
exactly.
Yes.
We also have Anna,
doctor.
Yeah, and a lot of them out there, the Catholic youths. So those of you who are nurses and doctors, I want to believe you will have your services there.
I capitalize it.
But that's why we have youths of the diocese, right?
Yeah, so we also encouraging youths to come with their tents.
Tents, okay.
Yeah, so that it can also ease the CDYC with mattresses.
Okay.
Yeah, that is to say, if they have it with them.
Okay, which means we're going to be camping at the school.
Yeah, we're camping at the school.
St. George's?
St. George's and St. John's.
St. John's,
yeah,
okay.
St. John's.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so that's clear enough. So we're going to be sleeping in the classrooms.
Sure. Very comfortable.
Very comfortable classrooms. Okay. So please don't forget to bring your bed nets as well, because it's mosquito season, because it's raining season. So we don't know how rain is in Basera as of right now, because it always rains heavily there. So come along with your bed net so that you are not beaten to death by mosquitoes. Yeah. So Patrick.
Yes.
Your questions I have for you there, about like 2, but I'm going to make them 1. Okay. How can we improve maternal health in the Gambia, and how does mental health? Jeff, you can also help in this one. Mental health is very important. How does mental health affect women's maternal health?
Okay, let me just wrap up with the mental health.
Yes.
Basically, women, they have mental issues.
Yeah.
Or mental health related issues, mostly after delivery. That's during the postpartum period.
Yeah.
We have what we call postpartum psychosis. That has to do with like depression, understand? Yeah. People have to deal with pain. Yeah. People have to deal with like the trauma of aftermath of childbirth and stuff. Yeah. So these are some of the things, mental issues that women develop after delivery. Some may have it before delivery, like the anxiety of how will you be able to take care of your child after delivery, especially those who are pregnant for the first time, the teens that are married off at an early age. So they battle with some of these things. But thank God in the Gambia we have that social family where you always have support. Your in-laws, your mother-in-laws, the other family members are always there to support you. Yeah. So these are basically some of the few mental issues that women deal with before or after delivery. Yeah. And then the other thing is like, how can we improve maternal health? Yeah. Basically, I always advise people, pay attention to your body. It's not that you don't know what's happening in your body. Sometimes you just want to be careless. Pay attention to your body. If you are married, you know you're anticipating. So once you are pregnant, you don't have to wait. Your first month, your second month, go for antenatal services. Whatever health issues you start to develop, whatever health issues you have, which you are not aware of, all those tests are done for you. Yeah. So you know them, and then start early intervention. So that will help to improve your health. Yeah. Also, we give fever, like to help women with anemia. We give them IPT to prevent them from malaria. But sometimes women tend to neglect some of these medications. You give them and they don't take it serious. And at the long run, most of them suffer with an anemia. So these are some of the things women can do to improve their health. Whatever advice and medications that are given to you from the hospital or by the medical personnel, take it serious. Even bed nets are given for free. Yeah. But you go there packed aside. You have malaria, it can predispose you to the death of your fetus. It can bring severe complications to you. So whatever is given to you by the health workers, try to take it serious. Whatever health issues you start to notice early, report to the facility. Yeah.
And awareness, especially by the Ministry of Health and the nurses and midwives themselves, because we have issues where women will come for delivery and they want to choose who will deliver them. Like we have the issues of a lady who was complaining about why should a man be a midwife. You understand? So I think also public awareness on the part of the Ministry of Justice, the midwifery associations or nurses associations and doctors should do more sensitization on the matters of why it's important, for these maternal health issues to be taken care of at a very early age.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Jeffrey, you did not talk about the rules and regulations for the camp. So just give us maybe one or two. What are the youths supposed to do? What are they not supposed to do? When is the departure time on the 3rd and all of that?
Yes. With regards the departure time for transportation, we are yet to finalize that.
Okay.
Because we are still battling with transportation.
Okay.
But we would love to depart as early as 6 a.m. We would love to depart as early as 6 a.m. Come on the 3rd by God's grace.
Okay.
We would have secured individuals on the ground, and we expect the youths to always be with their tasks. If not otherwise, you might be stranded outside, because we will have security all over.
Okay.
Yes, so we are taking that task very seriously with regards to movement. We are Catholics, we are Christians. I want to believe.
Yeah. Emphasize that.
Yes.
Catholic and
Christians. We are Catholic and Christians. So our norms and values as a Catholic and Christian, those are the same things that we are expected to be with down there in Basel.
Okay, so time is up. Final words, just each one, your final word, just one sentence, short sentence before we go. Time is up.
Okay, I just want to say thank you, Jane, for the show. My final words will be, let every woman take her health serious, and let every spouse support your wife.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Should start preaching that every day for men to support their wives while pregnant. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, girlfriend, for this wonderful session. It's an honor, having this reunion.
Oh.
So to our youths out there and even our parents, this youth cross is for all of us.
I forgot to add that. Thank you.
Okay, it's for all of us. Let us come and honor our cross, which is the source of our salvation.
Definitely.
Yes. So, to all our well-wishers out there, those that would want to help in one way or the other, our doors are open because we really need it. We are youths and definitely we are struggling. And that being the case, we would need your support out there.
Thank
you.
All right, thank you very much. This is what we've been able to bring you. Yena ko degandor yef youth cross ngeenyo parents and support suñ doomi fekke ne mënu ñoo fay ngeen register lañ ñoom tam ñu dem jangi dem xamanté ak seen morom youth si ñu gis ne ñoom tamit they are not left behind. Bu dee jigéen bu biir nga am nga jëkkër amuloo jëkkër war nga mën a xam ne dangaa toppatoo sa bopp toppatoo sa doom bi pour nga gis ne sa doom bi danga ko parce que doom yàlla moo koy may so bu fekkee ne danga.
Thank you so much, Jane, for this wonderful session. Well, I appreciate it.
Kaay la ñu nataalu.